Heroes, yes, you. Gather close, because today we're talking about the most incredible force you already possess. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's energy. The invisible fire that fuels your dreams, your passion, your purpose. Every single person walking this earth has the same 24 hours. But the secret difference between those who merely exist and those who ignite the world is how they master their energy. See, life isn't about how much time you have, but how much power you bring into each moment. The secret is not more coffee, not more hours, but more alignment. You don't need to chase energy, you need to channel it. So today, we're unlocking the 5 real world principles that actually work to help you master your energy, body, mind, and soul. You know, most people rush through life at lightning speed, chasing every opportunity, every trend, every flicker of success that crosses their path. They run hard, but they don't always know where they're running or why. That's the great tragedy of our age: energy without direction. You can be the hardest worker in the room, burning the candle at both ends, but if your fire isn't pointed towards something meaningful, you'll just end up with ashes. True mastery of energy begins when what you do finally syncs with why you do it. When your actions aren't random movements, but deliberate strikes of purpose. Imagine a rocket. If its fuel isn't aimed correctly, all that firepower is wasted in the void. But when its direction is precise, it breaks through gravity itself. That's what happens when your energy aligns with your purpose. Every ounce of effort suddenly counts. Every late night, every early morning, every challenge becomes a step closer to something that matters. We've all had moments when time disappears. Maybe you were painting, writing, building, or simply helping someone. Hours felt like minutes because you weren't forcing yourself. You were flowing. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. That's your inner purpose feeding your energy like a self-sustaining flame. It's the same power that drives the greatest creators, inventors, and leaders. When they speak, when they build, when they dream. It's not discipline alone, it's devotion. Steve Jobs once said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And he was right. Love turns effort into art. It turns struggle into story. Love for your craft makes fatigue feel like fulfillment. That's the secret most people overlook. Energy doesn't come from caffeine or motivation videos. It comes from meaning. Purpose is the battery of the soul, and when it's fully charged, you don't need anyone to push you. You pull yourself forward. But here's the challenge. Most people never stop long enough to ask, why am I really doing this? They run from task to task, job to job, chasing numbers, likes, or titles, thinking those will fill the void. But energy leaks where purpose is missing. Every moment spent doing something that doesn't resonate with who you truly are drains you faster than any sleepless night. You might be busy, but busy isn't the same as powerful. Take a moment right now to pause and look inward. What makes you feel alive? What would you still do even if no one was watching, even if no one paid you, even if the world said you were crazy? That's your compass. That's the place your energy belongs. Because when you connect your daily actions to that deep internal why, everything changes. Obstacles shrink, fatigue fades. Suddenly, even the grind feels sacred. Think of a runner who doesn't sprint aimlessly, but keeps her eyes fixed on the finish line. Every stride, every breath, every drop of sweat is driven by purpose. That's the difference between exhaustion and exhilaration. Direction transforms the same amount of effort into completely different outcomes. Purpose doesn't just conserve energy, it amplifies it. And here's a truth most don't realize: your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-shaking. It just has to be yours. Maybe it's raising your kids with love, building a small business, writing stories that move people, or spreading kindness wherever you go. Greatness isn't in the scale, It's in the sincerity. The more your life reflects what you value most, the more unstoppable your energy becomes. Look around. Every person who changed history wasn't powered by luck. They were powered by conviction. They found something that mattered so deeply to them that fatigue couldn't stop them, fear couldn't silence them, and failure couldn't break them. Purpose gives energy its armor. It shields you from doubt and gives strength to your spirit when everything else falters. So, take time to define your why. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Let it guide every choice you make. Because once you know your purpose, distractions lose their grip. The noise fades. Every action starts building into momentum, and every day becomes a step towards something greater. When purpose and power finally meet, you don't just live, you ignite. You don't just survive the days, you shape them. You become a force of motion, a living spark that refuses to fade. And the best part, that kind of energy doesn't burn out. It burns brighter because it comes from the very center of who you are. Your energy is the most valuable treasure you possess. It's not your money, your time, or your talent. It's the power that fuels all of those things. Without it, everything else falls apart. But here's the secret: most people overlook energy is not infinite, and it's not free. Every conversation, every thought, every emotion is a transaction. You're either earning energy or spending it. The problem is, most people spend it carelessly, handing it away to anyone or anything that demands attention. They let negativity, overcommitment, and endless distraction rob them blind. And by the time the day ends, they wonder why they feel empty. Think of your energy like gold in a vault. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your purpose, you're unlocking that vault and letting a thief walk out with your wealth. Every time you engage in gossip, complain about something you can't control, or scroll aimlessly through other people's lives, you're letting your power slip away one thought at a time. You wouldn't hand your car keys to a stranger. So why hand your energy to people and habits that drain you? Guard your focus the way a king guards his crown, because without that focus, you're not ruling anything. You're just reacting to everything. Saying no is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect. It's not rejection, it's redirection. When you say no to things that deplete you, you're saying yes to what truly matters. Protect your mornings like sacred ground. That first hour after you wake up sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start the day in chaos, checking messages, diving into drama, reacting to the world, you've already given your energy away before breakfast. Begin your day with intention instead. Breathe, think, plan. Move with purpose, not panic. And at night, protect your rest with the same devotion. Don't let the glow of a screen steal the peace your mind needs to recharge. The world will still be there tomorrow, but your power won't if you don't defend it today. Science backs this up. Studies from Stanford reveal that multitasking doesn't make you efficient. It cuts your productivity and energy by nearly half. 40% of your focus gone simply because your mind is pulled in too many directions. Picture trying to shoot 5 arrows at once. None of them will hit the target, but when you aim one arrow with full attention, it flies straight and true. That's what energy mastery really is, the art of intentional effort. Doing one thing with all your focus creates momentum. Doing 10 things with scattered focus creates exhaustion. Think of a light bulb and a laser. Both use energy, but one illuminates a room while the other cuts through steel. The difference is focus. Your life works the same way. When your energy is scattered across too many tasks, people, and worries, it glows faintly. But when you channel it toward a single mission, it becomes unstoppable. That's why the greatest achievers aren't always the busiest. They're the most intentional. They know that focus is strength and distraction is decay. And here's something most people never learn until it's too late. You can't pour from an empty cup. The world may tell you to always give, to always be available, to hustle without pause. But even the strongest engine needs maintenance. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. The moments you step back, breathe, and realign are the moments your energy rebuilds itself. Without them, even the brightest spark burns out. Guarding your energy also means guarding your circle. Surround yourself with people who recharge you, not those who drain you. You can feel the difference immediately. Some people leave you inspired while others leave you heavy. That's not coincidence. That's energy exchange. You become like the people you spend time with, so choose carefully. Spend time with those who speak life into your dreams, not those who feed off your fire. Imagine your energy as a flame. Every thought you think and every word you speak is either adding wood to that fire or throwing water on it. Be mindful of what and who you allow near that flame. If you feed it with gratitude, purpose, and positivity, it will light the world around you. But if you surround it with negativity, doubt, and fear, it will flicker and fade. Every day you wake up with a fresh deposit of energy. You decide how to invest it. Spend it on growth, on creation, on things that build you and those you love. Don't waste it chasing validation, proving your worth, or arguing with people who don't see your vision. Your power isn't meant to be spent convincing others. It's meant to be used creating the life you know you're capable of living. So treat your energy like treasure, because that's exactly what it is. The moment you start guarding it with intention, saying no to what drains you and focusing fully on what fuels you, everything begins to shift. Your clarity sharpens, your confidence grows, your results multiply. And you realize that mastering your energy isn't about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters with everything you've got. The strongest among us aren't the ones who never stop. They're the ones who know when to stop. They understand a truth most people ignore. Power isn't about constant motion. It's about consistent renewal. Even the mightiest storm needs stillness before it gathers strength again. Yet so many of us live like we're afraid to pause, as if resting means we're losing ground. But the truth is, when you refuse to recharge, you're not getting ahead, you're running yourself into the ground. Think of your body and mind like a high-powered engine. You can't run it endlessly without fuel, oil, and care. It might roar for a while, but eventually it sputters. Just like your phone loses battery after constant use, you too lose charge through stress, deadlines, emotions, and noise. The problem is, we've forgotten how to plug into the right source. Too often, when we feel drained, we reach for quick fixes, scrolling through endless feeds, binging shows, drowning in food or distractions, thinking it'll help us unwind. But that's not recharging. That's leaking energy slowly. It's like plugging your phone into a broken outlet and wondering why it never charges. The real art of energy mastery lies in intentional recovery, creating rituals, not randomness. You see, rituals are powerful because they train your body and mind to restore themselves on command. They aren't acts of laziness, they're acts of alignment. When you build rituals into your life that truly refill you, you stop surviving on borrowed energy and start generating your own. Imagine starting your morning not with chaos, but with calm. Before you rush into the demands of the world, take a few minutes to center yourself. Breathe deeply, stretch. Maybe sit in silence or write down what you're grateful for. These aren't just habits, they're power switches. They tell your mind, I'm in control of my day, not the other way around. And when the day ends, close it with equal intention. Reflect. Slow your breathing. Step outside and look at the night sky. Feel the world quieting around you and let that peace sink into your bones. These moments of ritual act like invisible armor against the noise of life. The truth is, balance isn't about doing less. It's about doing what renews you. It's about choosing the kind of rest that restores your energy rather than numbing it. Lying on the couch mindlessly for hours might distract you, but it doesn't feed your spirit. A walk through nature, on the other hand, can clear your thoughts and reignite your imagination. A few pages of an inspiring book can shift your entire mindset. Talking to someone who lifts your soul can refill your emotional tank faster than a weekend of mindless distractions. The key is awareness, knowing what truly charges you and making it a sacred part of your routine. Some people think they don't have time to recharge, but that's an illusion. You always pay the price. Either you make time for recovery now, or your body and mind will force you to stop later. Burnout doesn't announce itself politely. It sneaks in slowly, draining your motivation, dimming your spark until one day you wake up and feel like you've lost yourself. That's what happens when you run on empty for too long. But when you recharge intentionally, you prevent that crash. You keep your fire alive instead of watching it fade. Even science agrees. Studies show that our brains operate best in cycles, bursts of focused effort followed by intentional rest. The most productive people in the world don't grind nonstop. They work in rhythms. They treat their energy like a heartbeat, expanding, contracting, moving with purpose. It's not about laziness. It's about sustainability. You can't sprint forever, but you can run far if you know when to breathe. Think of the greats, the athletes, the artists, the innovators. None of them go full throttle every hour of the day. They understand that recovery isn't separate from greatness. It's part of it. A boxer rests between rounds. A musician pauses between notes. Even the universe itself moves in cycles of night and day, ebb and flow. Rest is built into the design of life. When you resist it, you're fighting nature itself. And don't forget, recharging isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. Sometimes the best recharge isn't sleep, it's connection. It's laughter with friends, time with loved ones. Moments of kindness or silence spent reflecting on who you are and why you're here. When you fill those deeper wells, your outer energy automatically rises. You start to glow again, not because you've done more, but because you've become more aligned. So don't treat self-renewal as a reward you have to earn. Treat it as the responsibility it truly is. Every time you take a moment to breathe, to center yourself, to rest with purpose, you're not wasting time. You're sharpening your sword. You're ensuring that when life calls on you to rise, you won't just show up, you'll show up strong, focused, and fully alive. Because energy doesn't fade when you rest with intention. It evolves, it transforms, it deepens. And when you emerge from that place of renewal, you don't just continue, you ascend. Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and suddenly the air feels lighter, brighter, almost electric? And then there are others who can drain that same room in seconds, like they carry a dark cloud only they can't see. That's not your imagination. That's energy transfer. Human beings are walking frequencies, constantly sending and receiving invisible waves of emotion, attitude, and belief. The people you surround yourself with are not just part of your life. They shape your life. Their mindset becomes your environment. Their words become your soundtrack, and their energy becomes your rhythm. If you spend your time around dreamers, doers, and believers, something magical happens. You start to move like them, think like them, believe like them. Their courage sparks yours. Their focus sharpens yours, and their faith fuels yours. It's not about imitation, it's vibration. You begin to rise to their frequency without even realizing it. But the reverse is just as true. Spend too much time around doubters, complainers, and critics, and their fear becomes your fatigue. Their hesitation seeps into your confidence. Their bitterness taints your joy. You start dimming your light to match their shadow. That's why your circle is one of the most powerful forces shaping your destiny. There's science behind this truth. A study from Harvard found that happiness can spread up to 3 degrees of connection. That means your friend's friend's friend, someone you may never have met, can influence your mood and energy. Think about that for a moment. If joy and optimism can ripple outward through unseen bonds, imagine how much more powerful your inner circle can be when it's built intentionally. Your environment isn't just where you live, it's who you live among. So choose your circle like your life depends on it, because it does. Imagine your energy like a fire. The people closest to you are either adding wood to that flame or throwing water on it. Some will help your fire grow higher, warming everything around you, while others will quietly smother it with their doubt. You can't keep your flame alive if you're surrounded by cold winds. Protect that fire. Feed it with people who believe in possibility, who see potential where others see problems, who push you to grow when you'd rather stay still. The truth is, no one becomes great alone. Behind every legend, every innovator, every success story is a tribe, a team of high-frequency souls who believed when no one else did. They challenged, supported, and celebrated that person until belief turned into action and action turned into reality. Your circle is the mirror that reflects your limits or expands your vision. Surround yourself with people who talk about ideas, not gossip. People who lift you up when life knocks you down, who remind you of your strength when you forget it yourself. Sometimes you'll outgrow the people you once felt closest to, and that's okay. Growth demands evolution. You can love someone and still recognize that their energy no longer aligns with the person you're becoming. It doesn't make them bad. It just means you're tuning into a new frequency. Don't dim your light to stay comfortable. Shine brighter so that those meant for your journey can find you. The ones who belong in your circle won't fear your growth. They'll fuel it. We've all seen what happens when one brave, inspired person walks into a group of doubters. At first, they might stand alone. They might be mocked or misunderstood. But over time, that light spreads energy. Real, positive, authentic energy is contagious. It inspires action, it breaks resistance, and it transforms environments. Be that person. Be the one who raises the vibration of every room you enter. Because when you radiate belief, the right people will be drawn to you naturally. The people in your life are like frequencies on a radio. If you keep tuning into static, you'll never hear the music meant for you. But when you dial into the right station, those who speak possibility, passion, and purpose, you'll find your rhythm again. You'll feel alive, focused, unstoppable. That's what high-frequency people do. They remind you of who you are and what you're capable of. And when you finally build that kind of circle, a tribe that dreams with you, pushes you, and refuses to let you settle, you'll notice something profound. Your energy won't just grow, it will multiply. Because energy grows in community, especially one united by something bigger than itself. When people come together with shared vision, mutual respect, and relentless belief, their combined frequency can move mountains. That's not exaggeration. That's the truth of human connection. So take a hard look around you. Ask yourself who adds to your fire and who drains it, who believes in your dreams and who laughs at them, who challenges you to be better and who keeps you small. The answers will tell you everything you need to know about why you feel either inspired or exhausted. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. So surround yourself with the best, and you'll become your best. Because when you connect with high-frequency people, you don't just find companionship, you find the power to rise higher than you ever could alone. Perfection. What a beautiful illusion. And what a dangerous trap. It whispers to us like a siren, promising satisfaction if we could just get everything right. But chase it long enough, and you'll find it's nothing more than a mirage shimmering on the horizon, something that looks close but vanishes the moment you reach for it. The truth is, perfection doesn't create progress, it kills it. It drains your drive, poisons your confidence, and convinces you that not yet is the same as not good enough. But progress, that's where the real magic happens. Progress is alive. Progress has movement. It's messy, it's raw, it's real, and it's the only path that actually leads somewhere. Every small victory, every single step forward releases a spark in your brain, a chemical signal called dopamine. It's the body's way of saying, keep going. You're on the right path. That little burst of motivation is how momentum is born. You don't need to take giant leaps every day. You just need to move 1 inch forward today is worth more than a mile of wishing tomorrow. The people who achieve greatness aren't perfect. They're persistent. They fall, they fail, but they never stop stepping. Think of a bodybuilder. They don't walk into the gym on day one and lift the heaviest weight in the room. They start small, humble, even. They lift what they can. They push to their limit. They rest. Then they come back and do it again, just a little stronger than before. That's how growth happens, not in sudden explosions, but in consistent repetitions. Strength isn't built overnight. It's earned through patience, discipline, and the courage to keep showing up. It's the same with life. You don't become confident, wise, or successful in one moment of perfection. You become through progress, through the moments that challenge you, stretch you, and force you to grow. Every time you move forward despite fear, every time you try again after failure, every time you choose progress over paralysis, you expand your power. You learn to trust yourself, and that trust becomes energy. You start to realize that it's not about being flawless. It's about being fearless enough to try again. The danger with perfection is that it tricks you into waiting for the right moment. You tell yourself you'll start when you have more time, more confidence, more resources. But the perfect moment never arrives because life was never designed to be perfect. It was designed to be lived. The cracks, the chaos, the stumbles, they're all part of the process that makes you stronger. Progress doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be present. Imagine an artist staring at a blank canvas. If they waited for the perfect vision, the perfect brushstroke, the perfect mood, that canvas would stay empty forever. But if they pick up the brush and just start painting, something happens. The colors begin to flow, the shapes take form, and even if it's not flawless, it's alive. That's progress in action. That's creation over hesitation. And here's the secret most people miss. Momentum builds energy. The more you do, the more you want to do. Each small win doesn't just give you results, it gives you fuel. It's like rolling a snowball, tiny at first, but with every turn, it gathers more power, more weight, more unstoppable force. That's how you master your energy, not through perfection, but through consistent motion. You build a rhythm that sustains you, a confidence that grows louder than doubt. Of course, there will be days when progress feels invisible, days when you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, but even those days count. Even mistakes teach you direction. Think about Thomas Edison. He didn't see his failures as defeat. He said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That mindset didn't just create a light bulb, it created a legacy. Because perfection waits, but progress works. Fate, the truth is, progress doesn't just build skill, it builds character. When you focus on progress, you start to see life as an adventure instead of a test. You stop punishing yourself for being human. You start appreciating the climb, not just the summit. You realize that confidence doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from knowing you can handle whatever comes next. So celebrate your small wins. They matter more than you think. Smile at your setbacks. They're proof that you're still in the game. Each day you move forward, no matter how slightly, you're rewriting your story. The mountain doesn't get smaller, but you get stronger. And one day, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't perfection that got you there. It was persistence. It was progress. Because perfection is stillness, and stillness kills growth. But progress, that's life in motion. That's the sound of your energy expanding, your power awakening, and your purpose unfolding. Keep moving, keep growing, and let progress, not perfection, be your masterpiece. So, my friend, remember this: you are not a machine powered by caffeine and deadlines. You are a living force of purpose, passion, and potential. The key to mastering your energy isn't found in the outside world. It's built within you, one conscious choice at a time. Align your purpose. Guard your focus, recharge with rituals, surround yourself with power, celebrate progress. Do that, and you won't just survive the day, you'll electrify it. Now go out there and unleash your energy on the world!